guys, welcome back to another episode of I Am I. My name is Joshua Ansley, or Chris Christopherson, which I'm seeming to look like these days. I'm just letting it go, kids. I'm just letting it all shag out, right? So today I wanted to talk about breath. I can't believe it's like 46 weeks in and I never talk about the breath. I was always, there's certain ideas I was like, ooh, holding off to for the perfect opportunity. And sometimes there just is no perfect opportunity. You just got to jump the fuck in. Jive. Dive in. Jive. If you jump and dive at the same time, that's how you jive. Just so you know. That's how it works. And if you look deep into my eyes right now, you'll probably see the selfie stick. So don't do that. All right. So I want to talk about the breath. All right. This is one of the simplest but most profound tools that we have to use. There's so many areas we can talk about. First of all, I want to understand that I always say that if you want something really solid in your life, if you want something steady, if you want something that will always be there for you from the moment that you're born until the moment that you pass, then forge a relationship with your breath. And I remember one time I was at a film, what do you call that thing, where a bunch of people come together, a convention, right? And there were cinematographers talking about forging your relationship with light. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Obviously, I'm not very good at my relationship with light right now, but it's something incredibly powerful, understanding relationship at everything. That's a whole nother aspect, but I talk about that a lot. It's how we relate to the world. It's not the world itself, right? So we forge a relationship with the breath, which is just bringing our awareness to it to start, right? And when we start to see that this breath is truly, truly a symbol of unconditional love in our lives. When you really think about it, no matter what is happening in your life, good times, bad times, happy or sad, your breath is there for you every single fucking moment of every single day. Sick, healthy, asleep, awake, every moment that you're in this body, that breath is there for you, right? So it really is showing us a symbol of unconditional love. And whether you're showing it any attention or not, it is still there for you. It doesn't matter. It never stops, right? And so when we start to forge a relationship with that, when we start to actually put attention onto that breath and put our awareness there, wherever we put our attention and our awareness will grow. So we will grow our breath. Now, literally, if you want to get scientifically about it, this is where we get more oxygen. Oh, the butterfly. Hello, Mr. Butterfly. So this is where we actually get more oxygen into our bodies. You can call it oxygen, you can call it prana, you can call it life force. If you want to be all mystical about it, we can call it prana. If you want to be fucking scientific and, 21st century about it. What century are we in? We are in the 21st century, right? Then we can call it, I'm gonna have to cut. I'm gonna cut right here. We can call it oxygen, all right? So the really cool thing is about in this heart center, Anahata it's called in the Chakra System. Anahata is the heart space, right? That's where it's all the lungs, right? So the element of this heart space, of love, of unconditional love, is actually air. So as we breathe in, we are actually breathing in. The coolest thing about breath, I mentioned this in another one where you couldn't hear a fucking word I was saying because it was with water, but when we appreciate our cycle, the cycle and the rhythm of breath, right? There's some magic that happens when we start to step into the rhythm of our own breath. We start to step into our own personal rhythm, right? And that rhythm is pretty amazing because as we exhale all these toxins that we consider toxins, those toxins are actually bringing life to this planet. So just by you being alive, you are bringing life to this planet. See how fucking worthy you are just by you breathing. How amazing is that? You don't have to fucking do anything but just be, and you are bringing life to this planet. You are being of service just by being alive. But now it's your awareness on that makes a difference. When you start to realize that it's all perception, that just you being alive, you start to take awareness to your breath. Now when you exhale and you visualize maybe black smoke coming out or anything else that you don't need, it's a powerful tool to actually get rid of all the stuff in our bodies that we don't need. Now, scientifically, in our practice and really physically, it actually takes the lactic acid out of the muscles. So if we're in a really strong physical practice, yoga practice, or whatever it is, it actually brings more oxygen in, so it carries the lactic acid that is built up in the muscles. So it will actually ease some of that struggle that you're having when you start to breathe. It also eases the mind. It is an incredible tool for the mind to stay focused, right? So in our practice, whether it be life or on the mat, when we're starting to focus our attention on the breath, going back to what is important, which is that life that is coming into the body, right? So it takes our mind off of all the bullshit nonsense in this external world, because none of that is going to make you happy. Zero of it is going to make you happy. It might for a short period of time, but everybody's gonna fucking die. Your loved ones are gonna fucking die. You're gonna lose all your money. You can't take it with you. You know, I understand that it's hard to recognize that those relationships, like people who want, no, but you make me happy. Well, if they make you happy, that means they can also make you sad. So when we stop depending upon other people or outside worldly things for our happiness, and we start going inward with our breath and start forging a relationship there, then when we release all that negative toxicity from our bodies and from our minds by focusing on the breath and staying centered and easy, then the fun begins. That's where we can step into anything, right? So this breath is really important. When you get into what we call pranayama, which is breath work, there's all kinds of different pranayama we can do. And if you want to get all mystical about it, this is where we say, as you start to oxygenate in the body, this is where alchemy starts to begin in the body. When you start to actually oxygenate everything, we start to bring prana into different areas that are malnourished and from oxygen. This is where you start to be able to like walk on water and shit. This is where miracles happen. I can't show that to you because I don't have a fucking clue about how to do that, but I'm just telling you that there are miracles happening all the time everywhere. People do all kinds of crazy shit, and it is apparently by your breath control. But fuck all that noise. We're just talking about actually not having a panic attack or a mental breakdown when all this external shit, which includes our minds and our thoughts. So when I talk about external world, not relying on that, you cannot rely on your thoughts or physical sensations or your emotions. They are constantly changing and in flux. The breath is a tool to help us steady ourselves to that place underneath all of that. So the breath is an amazing tool to act as a conduit to that space of the deeper self or God or whatever you want to call it. So if you imbue the breath with that element, with that sankalpa, with that intention, right? So the intention is to take that breath down deeper into the body and down deeper in below, underneath all those thoughts and emotions and everything. It's behind those thoughts, behind those emotions, behind those physical sensations. It's behind everything that we think is reality, right? And the breath takes us down there. You can also imbue the breath with a color. You can imbue it with light. It can be healing. It can be a healing prospect that we put on the breath. Our visualization mixed with that breath is absolutely incredible when we just take our breath there. So let's just simply start taking some deep breaths. So we're going to do this together. And I want to just talk about that most of us, we live very shallow lives. There's no judgment. I really don't mean that, you know. But it's because our breath is shallow. We're taking the breath usually up into our upper lungs, right here, right? So we want to start breathing diaphragmatically, which is basically bringing the breath down here, into the lower belly, down into this space. I'm shaking a little bit. Sorry about the camera shake. Let me see if I can steady it out a bit. So down here in the lower belly, solar plexus, or even below the solar plexus. So when we inhale, this is very simple, but not easy, and most of us probably don't do it. As you inhale, the belly comes out. So most of us don't use the belly at all. Most of us, when we're breathing, it's shallow upper breaths in the upper lungs. In actuality, we want the breath to come down into the lower belly, and then it actually moves up to the solar plexus, up into the rib cage, even up into the clavicle, up here in the shoulders, right? So it starts in the belly, and then moves up into the shoulders, all the way up into the shoulders. And then as you exhale, it's the reverse. Shoulder blades, or the shoulders collapse, the rib cage collapses, and the belly pulls in, right? So just briefly again, it's inhale into the belly, then up into the rib cage, shoulders, and exhale, the shoulders, rib cage, and even the belly then pulls in, right? So this is really powerful. You might start to sob and cry right now if you've never done this before. It's really simple, and this is just a very simple breath. It's actually 3 parts. It's lower belly, and then the solar plexus rib cage, and then up into the shoulders, even up into the upper chest. And then exhale, 3 parts. Collapse the upper chest, the rib cage, solar plexus, and the belly. I use solar plexus and rib cage as like 1, so I know I'm kind of saying 4, but it's 3 parts. It's 3 parts. So let's actually just take a few breaths together, right? Maybe yours is very shallow and that's okay, or maybe it's uncomfortable. This is something that as a practice will eventually develop in your life and I'm telling you, when you do forge a relationship with this, it'll change your fucking life. It'll cleanse everything out as one of the most powerful tools. And then you get into different pranayamas where you're all fucking standing on your head, closing shit off and be like, and all kinds of crazy shit is happening and expelling shit. But let's just take some easy, nice, deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Inhale. And exhale. One more time together. Inhale. And exhale. And just let the breath return to its natural rhythm. I'm telling you, this will get out of all the chaos in your life. It is not a quick, easy fix. Nothing is. There is no one way, no one quick, easy fix. Maybe drugs, right? Whether they're prescription or, illicit, illegal, alcohol, whatever it is. If you want to do any of that stuff, that's always available to you. Sure, always go do that. I have made a choice that I would like to take the longer, harder road, and it's not any better, it's just different. It's longer and it's harder, but the rewards that I've been told and I've seen from my own personal experience are exponential, right? We step into our discomfort and we work through it with our breath. We breathe down into that deeper sense underneath our thoughts and emotions. We let all those thoughts and emotions fly out of us, come out of us, and we come down into a place of absolute peace and serenity, where we are no longer thrown around by our wants and desires of the outside world. We come to absolute, complete peace and serenity within ourselves first. So there's all kinds of different breath work. There's cooling breath, rolling the tongue. There's exhaling out the mouth for cleansing stuff. There's all kinds of different stuff. There's lion's breath, sticking the tongue out, looking as ridiculous as possible. So it's a whole world to explore, but this simple breath can change your life. Thank you very much for listening. In Lakesha Lakin, I am you, you are me. Namaste. What? Too much?